Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Wu-Tang killer, the one killer bee, and he ain't for the kill now. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Chop that down, that's all around. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away.
This is when it gets serious. This is raw.
Yeah, baby, I like it raw. I get freaky dicky raw.
It's raw. That's raw.
You're gonna kill someone.
Madam?
Stone cold and it's raw.
That's fucking raw. Oh, fucking hell. Gentlemen! Raw! It's fucking raw, yeah? It's raw. It's raw, yeah?
Yeah, chef.
It's fucking raw, yeah? It's raw. Perfect so far. That's fucking raw. Fuck off with it, yeah? Hey, you can be pissed off. You get every fucking right to be pissed off. You know that? Yes?
Yes, chef.
Fucking raw!
I get freaky dicky raw.
Look at that! It's stone cold and it's raw. Then it's pinker than your fucking lipstick. That is raw.
That is raw, chef.
Raw! They went out flipping on the plate because it's so raw. Bah! Raw!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Today is September 4th, 2024, and Sebastian Rogers has been missing for a little over 6 months today. I just wanted to come on and talk about a few updates because ever since the FBI decided to jump in with the $50,000 reward for Sebastian, things have been moving very quickly. And so I wanted to just hop on here and talk with you guys about it and see what your thoughts are, because there is a lot going on right now and there is major buzz surrounding Sebastian's case, which is wonderful, but he is still missing. The first video that I have included today is one that just came out yesterday. It is footage from Sebastian's birthday party, and it's showing him and Katie and the group. Everybody is blurred out besides Katie. Now, I do know that in this footage, the person who is taking the video on their phone is Chris's sister. So she was there. I've also included a photo that she snapped after the game that they were participating in for his birthday was over with. And she posted that on February 27th, 2024, so the day after Sebastian was reported missing. In this footage, we get to see a little bit of Sebastian's personality, more of what his personality was like. And we also get to hear what he sounds like, which is extremely important, because if somebody can hear his voice and become familiar with what he sounds like, if he is out there somewhere and he is being taken care of by somebody, or he's being held against his will, but he's still out in the communities somewhere, then it's very important for us to be familiar with what he sounds like. And this is the most recent video that we can hear what he sounded like very close to the time that he went missing. And if everyone remembers the green tea video, he is younger in that video. You can tell because he still has his baby voice. In this video, you can hear he has a more manly voice, and his voice has changed a bit, and it sounds very reminiscent of a young man's voice as it is changing and as it is getting deeper in tone. Another thing I noticed while I was editing is that it seems like Sebastian is being taunted by Chris's sister and possibly Katie. Katie seems to be having a more healthy, kind of a fun camaraderie between Sebastian and herself, maybe a little healthy competition. However, it seems like Chris's sister is almost teasing him in a way that is frustrating to him, and he doesn't really like it. It's very apparent to me that it's stressing him out. And it's very different to go back and forth and tease with someone when you're in a close relationship with them, or if it's your little brother or your little sister. It's okay to tease people in good fun. as long as everyone is having fun with it, and maybe they might be saying a comeback back at you, or and you're saying it back to them. But when it gets to the point where someone is being stressed out over it, or they don't like the teasing, it's bullying. That's when it goes over into that territory. And I just really got strong vibes of bullying. I'm not surprised by this at all. I mean, it is a bit shocking. I'm still not immune to the cruelty that is shown towards Sebastian, but watching it play out in this way is very telling when it comes to how Sebastian was treated by his own family members. So we have bullies at school and we get to go home and we don't have to deal with them. Sometimes they will troll and they will come after us on the internet. But for the most part, when you're at home, that should be your safe place. When you're out with your family members, that should be good times, good memories, and it should never be your family members picking on you or leaving you out or making you feel like you don't belong. I'm really interested to know what you all think. I am always so impressed by the comment section. How many people have such insightful comments to leave? So many people have such great catches. And hopefully, I won't have anything to pin up because I like to pin the comments that I find to be very interesting or very thoughtful, very thought provoking. Thank you all so very much for your comments. And I would love to know what you think about this birthday video. Okay, guys, let's watch.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Great Big Game Show, the game show where we have great big fun. My name is Amanda, and I'm going to be your host for today. Over the course of today's game, we are going to be competing in a series of different mini games and challenges in which both teams are going to be bringing in points to see who can come out on top. But before we get started, I have got a very important question to ask both teams, and I'm going to need to hear your answers loud and clear. Red team, are we going to be the winners today? I love it. Blue team, you think you gotta be? Are you going to be our winners today? I love it. We've got some great energy here in the studio today, and it's a special one because we're celebrating a birthday in the room as well. Say, boys, Sebastian! Coming out to celebrate with us today. We're going to have a lot of. They say that the building blocks of success come in many different shapes and sizes, but today we are going to be playing with them. Our first game here is called Build It Up. Feel free to position those wherever you live. And on your marks, get set, drop those chips. Alright, it looks like red team, unfortunately that one was a miss. But blue team, that one was a hit. That means red team, you guys are bringing in a total of 4,000 points after chip shot. And blue team, you're going to be bringing in 1,615 points. Tally those up and add them to your scores. Good job, guys! It's up to you now. Fire those cannons, drop and chip whenever you're ready. And red team, I say this payback indeed. That one landed in the 1,000 spot.
Took your money back.
If you're a fan of double chocolate chip cookies, you're gonna love this next one.
I know, it's okay.
This is our double
Hey,
chip.
no, stop.
Wherever the double chip lands, it'll give you twice as many points.
Okay, who's,
Also,
that's
there's
you.
one spot that has two chips stacked on top of each other. If you want to take that top one, you can tuck it in front of the bottom one to level the playing field there.
Okay, you have to get the 200 today.
No, she doesn't. She can get whatever.
All right, red team, that double chip.
That gives us 4,000.
Congratulations.
Okay, guys, so let's talk a little bit about the rewards. 7 days into Sebastian's disappearance, local business owners supposedly got together and donated or pledged a $3,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers. Now, I have heard that that was all a hoax. That wasn't a real reward that was offered. It was all fake. It wasn't real. So the FBI put out a $50,000 reward for Sebastian right after the last vigil that was held, the Ride for Sebastian, where they donated money to the Michaela's Motel. The FBI came out on the anniversary of 6 months that Sebastian had been missing, and they said that they were working with Sumner County. I wanted to just add in a couple of clips from Justin on TikTok because he did have Joe Petito on, and I really enjoy his perspective on things, and he is a very good researcher. He does not put things out, nor does he heavily speculate unless he has proof to back it up or his research has drawn him to that conclusion, so to speak. So I really enjoy him. Justin on TikTok, also on YouTube, same name, Justin on TikTok. Definitely go over there and check him out. He also has a line of children's books, or I believe it's 2 children's books, but it talks about boundaries. And if you have little children, it puts it into language that they can understand. And I really get behind that. I think it's very important to teach our children to set healthy boundaries at a young age. As a matter of fact, I feel like kids are like sponges, they can learn anything. So if we teach them at a young enough age, it'll just become second nature for them not to take any shit from anyone. Of course, that's purely my speculation and my verbiage, but I do think that it's very important. So definitely go and check Justin out. Okay, guys, let's watch.
They have it under missing persons. The verbiage that the FBI field office in Memphis put out there was information. Here's what they said exactly, verbatim. $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction in connection with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. That's what said, the arrest and conviction, especially with putting up a $50,000 reward and especially with putting it on the front page of FBI Most Wanted. Now, again, the FBI does not give updates. The FBI is not going to come out and give a presser and say, oh, this is what we think, this is what we know. And if anybody says that they have inside information, they don't. Because the FBI plays things very close to the vest. They don't want investigations to be impeded or impacted. Maybe the family knows a little bit. Maybe Chris, Katie, and Seth know a little bit more than others. Maybe Sumner County knows a little bit more than others. I know that we do have a new sheriff here. And I don't know if that perhaps changed the way that they're looking at the case, maybe reviewing evidence or whatever's going on. But I just know that there's a lot of movement here. Officially speaking, there's a lot of creators out there talking about Chris and Katie Proudfoot, Sebastian's mom and stepdad, and Seth Rogers, Sebastian's bio dad, as well as I think the grandparents or step-grandparents. And all I can say is that at this point in time, it's my understanding that nobody has been cleared. Nobody's necessarily a suspect, but nobody's been cleared. And the official answer in all parties involved is that there is no evidence to link them to Sebastian's disappearance. That's the official answer.
What's up, Justin? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good. How are you doing today? I know how you're doing today. You don't have to answer that. You're doing shitty.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on to kind of talk about this because I agree with you. When the FBI came out yesterday and offered the reward and, the new poster, and then all of a sudden, he's on the front page of the FBI's list, which obviously is huge because we've talked about a lot of cases in the past, and this is the first one I've ever seen that shows up on the FBI. So a lot of people are wondering how this could possibly occur. I don't know how much insight you have into FBI getting involved, but would be interested in hearing.
So when at the FBI missing person list, I haven't checked it probably in a month or so, but it's usually ranges around 100 people. All right, and we know there's a lot more than 100 people missing in the United States, right? So how did those people get on that? And those are active cases where a person is missing or whatnot, and they're involved one way, shape, or form with a case that they have. And that's how you get on the FBI's missing person list. Like, you have to be that. If you're missing and you're involved in a case, way, any shape or form, they can put you on that list, but only that way.
Now, I know it would obviously be speculation, and I know that you're fairly familiar with this case. At this point in time, I mean, we know that Seth had a petition going around a couple months ago trying to get the FBI to take over lead in this case. I know that they had brought in resources at one point because the TBI had said something about that. But do you know what, other than obviously already being involved in the case in some capacity, what could have gotten them involved in it to this point? To them, it sounds like at this point, I mean, does this mean that they're taking over as lead as well, or like?
I don't know. And to be honest, I don't believe so. But again, the FBI is not going to give that information regardless. You know what I mean? They'll have an PIO, or an information officer, kind of giving any information, as needed. But the fact that they have them on there means they're involved, or at least I would assume they are involved. And that is a good thing. I don't believe a petition would do it, believe it or not. It had to be something either that the police found out or the FBI found out and, figured out that this is a case they need to be involved in, and they will be. So that's, and prayers to the family, because, and listen, Sebastian's missing. I was supposed to do a live with Seth, and there was like threats and stuff that we got, whatever. But and you and I had talked about it. But the fact that Sebastian's still missing and he needs to be found, and the fact that they're involved is, I would believe it to be a big step forward.
Do you? And again, obviously, this would be speculation, but and so you don't have to answer if you really have no idea. But do you think that this could possibly indicate that they might know, obviously, more than? I mean, we know that they know more than the public, but that they might actually have some viable information. And the reason I ask it that way is because Sumner County has said that for the last few months that there's no new information. We'll continue going over what we've already seen and see if we missed something. I can tell you in Sumner County, or in Hendersonville, the sheriff recently passed away. So there's kind of been a little bit of a shakeup over there as far as, who's in charge. And it just, I feel like the timing around everything is it's interesting. I'm not alluding to any conspiracies or anything like that at all. I just think that it's a little interesting. So, I mean, do you think that maybe
they're not going to give us any information that's not pertinent? You know what I mean? So as far as the public should be concerned, it's the way Sebastian looks, videos that it can help in the way he walks or the way he sounds, you know what I mean? Things like that. But that's all the public really needs or deserves to know. I hate to say it like that. That sounds horrible, but because if there is criminality, then they don't want to give that information away to lose that person.
Well, celebrity bounty hunter is now joining the search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers and is also raising the reward money. Several agencies, including the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, leading searches for the teen before eventually scaling back. Well, Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, tells News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry his team will get answers.
In the last 6 months, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, searched for a little over a week before officials said they were scaling back to focus efforts on the investigative side. Following the search for Riley Strain, search groups like the United Cajun Navy have helped look.
The outpouring was just so strong for us to stay and look for Sebastian. We said, what, since we're here, let's do it.
But that team withdrew from search efforts with no sign of Sebastian. Bullhorn Betty, a true crime social media influencer, also joined in on the search efforts, supporting Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers.
Our opinions are that few people have more information than what they're saying.
Since Sebastian first went missing, his father, Seth, has not given up on searching for his son.
The search that we're doing today is a recovery effort. and I'm praying that we don't find him.
Now, celebrity bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, known as Dog, has stepped in to help Seth.
This is one of the most horrendous cases of missing children that we've ever worked on.
Law enforcement has not said anything criminal happened to Sebastian, but Dog says he wants to find anyone responsible for Sebastian's disappearance.
The bottom line is, if you hurt a child like this, you've got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this.
Dog and his team created a new missing persons flyer for Sebastian Rogers. In it, they explain how they're working independently from law enforcement, reevaluating the information collected and following up on new leads. They also say they've added $50,000 more to the reward, making a total of $100,000.
You know, because that is a lot of money. I don't care if you're rich, you know, that's a lot of money.
Dog tells me he believes that by working with Seth, following up on leads, and an increase in the reward money, they will find the answers they've been looking for.
You can run, but you can't hide who did it. We're going to find out.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
Okay, guys, so a lot to unpack in those clips that we just watched. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like the FBI involvement has really created a lot of, as I said, buzz for this case, and it's definitely keeping things in the spotlight. It seems to have even shaken things up a bit because, as we saw in the clip, Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Chapman, Dog the Bounty Hunter, has now agreed to help Seth Rogers find out what happened to Sebastian. As a matter of fact, from the video clip that we just watched, he is talking about looking for and hunting down the person who hurt Sebastian. And obviously he feels strongly from whatever he has been told or whatever information he has gathered that justice needs to be brought to this case. He does say that it is one of the worst cases that he has ever worked on, and maybe he saw the CPS records. I don't know. Now, we all know that money talks and BS walks. So when there is this kind of reward out there, it is going to spark a lot of attention. And now we have learned, and I posted on my community wall as well, that there was an additional $25,000 added to that by an individual, and an additional $25,000 has now been added, making it a total of $100,000 for any information that leads to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers. And I do believe that the exact verbiage is any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons who is involved in Sebastian's disappearance. What that tells me, and all of these opinions are my opinions, even if I use someone else's clip, it is always my opinion when I am giving commentary throughout my videos. So always know that I am speculating and this is my idea and what I can surmise from the information that is being processed through my own brain. So what this tells me is that they are looking at this as a criminal investigation rather than Sebastian running away. And it's also a possibility that there may have been an abduction or a kidnapping, and that is why they are looking for information that would lead to an arrest and a later conviction for whatever crime has transpired. We also were able to hear Joe Petito himself confirm on August 27th, 2024, that he did in fact have some threats and or harassment before going on Seth's live. I know there was a lot of people that were very happy to have that union broken and that live didn't go as planned. And I know that people were happy about that. They were very proud of their handiwork, and they were excited that Joe declined to come up on panel because of all of the drama surrounding him helping Seth. I really have to hand it to Mr. Petito. He's a class act, and so is the rest of Gabby's family. Her parents are absolutely amazing and just a shining example of what parents need to be doing when a child goes missing. They need to put their differences aside and focus on the child. And I really appreciate him coming up on the anniversary of Gabby's passing, the day that they lost or they found out that they had lost their daughter. And it just takes a very strong individual to be able to stand up against a bunch of trolls. We also see this at the last vigil where Bullhorn Betty was accosted and apprehended by the police for having active warrants out of Sumner County. Now, this is pertaining to the situation with the ROs that Katie, Chris, and the Bower Sox initiated against Bullhorn Betty. Now, I personally don't agree with everything that Bullhorn Betty says or does. I do, however, agree with her fighting for Sebastian, and I'm grateful for her and appreciative for her fighting so hard for Sebastian. If only Chris, Katie, and the Bower Sox would fight as hard as she does, maybe there would be more information and maybe he would be found by now. I was very disappointed when I saw people celebrating Betty being arrested, when I saw people happy that she was arrested during the vigil. I really don't understand how someone could think that it's okay to disrupt or cause trouble at a vigil. I don't know why people would show up to a vigil just to videotape what is going on there so that they can get likes, clicks, and views. I do think it's awesome when people share their videos from the vigils because that way we all can be there. The people who aren't local can feel like they are able to be there and support Sebastian. Because at the end of the day, that is exactly who this is about, Sebastian. It's not about creators who want to stir the pot. It's not about creators who want to make false police reports. And it's not about Chris and Katie. And another thing that it's not about is all of the old beef between all of these creators. Now, I'm a new creator, so I can be the Monday morning quarterback. Hindsight is always 2020. But there are a lot of old beefs out here on the YouTube streets. I call it the YouTube verse. But there are a lot of old beefs out there that people are getting caught up in my opinion, and it is muddying the waters in this case. And if the only reason why you are upset right now is because of something that happened between you and a creator in your personal lives or otherwise, even if it was something that occurred in a chat or somebody backstabbed you, I understand. I'm a person too. I've had a lot of issues in my own life. I've had close friends and family members, and there's been situations between us. And that all playing out publicly is always going to be messy. So instead of talking about these other creators and doing things behind the scenes to stir the pot and stir up drama, I think it's just better for you to focus on Sebastian, focus on the interviews, focus on the positive right now, which is a $100,000 reward, Dog the Bounty Hunter. There's so many things to talk about rather than trying to get subscribers, viewers, however you want to look at them. I call it my community. I don't look at people as subscribers. I think of it as a community that I'm building, that I want to build with other like-minded and good people. But again, like I said in my other video, we don't have to agree to kick it. So if you're over here and you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's perfectly all right. I invite you to talk with me and start a conversation about it in the comments. You can always email me, and I would invite the conversation because I enjoy speaking about these subjects, about true crime, and I really enjoy getting other people's ideas. I think that is the best way to come up with the best conclusions. If we're filling in the blanks, it's a very good way to spark new ideas, to maybe see things from a different perspective or point of view. So, what I would say to all of you out there listening, and all of my loyal community members that keep coming back and listening to me, I am so humbled and grateful. What I would say to you and to anyone else out there is don't eat the meat. It's old beefs. Don't eat the meat. So it's like, don't drink the Kool-Aid, don't eat the meat, because this has nothing to do with the case. The anger, the crazy accusations, the outlandish crap that we're seeing spill out every single day all over YouTube about Seth, about even some of the things about Katie and Chris we found out were completely false. So, what I would just say is consider the source. If you know about these old beefs that I'm talking about, definitely keep an eye out and just know that the information is a little convoluted, to say the least, or it could be cloudy judgment because of a grudge or someone trying to get revenge on this person or the other person. So at the end of the day, we're all trying to find Sebastian. That really needs to remain the focus. And let's face it, I mean, there's tons to talk about here. So we have word that Chris's alibi may not be what we thought it was. It may not have been as rock solid as we all thought it was. And there has been talk about Chris's RV and him switching between the RVs. Now, that has been out there for a very long time, has not been confirmed, in my opinion. I haven't found any evidence, but I'm always open to that. So if you have it, send it over to me and I will definitely consider it. Another thing is there was no records of him at EZ Days, which is EZ, the letters, and then days, like dazed and confused, so DAZE, right? So EZ Days has no records of him. That was brought out by another creator, and I think it's definitely worth looking into at this point. Anything is worth looking into. Now, there has been some court documents that are out there. Again, I have not taken a look at those. If you have them, send them over. I would definitely consider them. However, I cannot get on board with the fact that Chris and Katie have been cleared. I do, however, think that with the parenting plan that was in place, Chris was able to maintain the parenting plan that was in place and no changes were made. And that was the reason why Faith did spend time with the Proud Feet during the summertime as she did in the past. And I think that because they don't have any evidence against them, the courts found it in their favor to keep the original plan because, after all, they aren't cleared, but they're also innocent until proven guilty. That's how our system works. And so, as upset as I was that Faith would have to go stay with the Feet, I also considered our court system and how it works. It is very important that everything goes right in this case so that if there was foul play And if justice does, in fact, need to be brought to this case, that everything is all kosher. We need to cross all of our T's, dot all of our I's. We need to make sure that everything is pristine so that there can be an arrest, a conviction, and there would be justice for Sebastian. So, with that being said, we definitely need to make sure that we keep everything as fair as possible. After the vigil, I started to wonder why people find joy in others' suffering. And it led me to a reading rainbow moment here, but a word called Schadenfreude, which is a German word. And Schaden means harm, and Freude means joy. And so it's finding joy in harm. I believe that this was present in the video from Sebastian's birthday celebration. I believe that this concept or phenomena, whatever you'd like to call it, has been very prevalent in the YouTube verse, and it basically says that people do this because they have a low self-esteem, because they're projecting. There's many different reasons why people like to do this and like to harm others and find joy in it, or they just like to watch people struggle, for lack of a better way to explain it. And I'm sure we all know about or have seen this play out in real life. Personally, I want everyone to succeed. I applaud people out there who are creators, who are actually YouTuber status, where they've earned the right to call themselves a YouTuber. But just creator to creator, I look at the situation with Bullhorn Betty like it could have been me. And I don't want my rights stifled, especially my constitutional rights. I wouldn't want those stifled. I wouldn't want to see the rights of someone else stifled, because that could set precedents for the rest of us. And so that's why I deemed it necessary to talk about this topic with you all. And after all, I don't want to have to start referring to Chris and Katie as pervy snacks, because that's the only thing I can come up with. Maybe Mr. and Mrs. because pervy snacks. I don't know. I mean, it's just we'd have to change the whole entire language that we're using. And if we can't directly talk about the subject of our videos, that makes it very hard to spread awareness in a meaningful way that can produce the kind of results that we're all looking for. I also deemed it necessary to speak out on the threats. I know that there are many creators who have been threatened, and one that I personally know that has been threatened. So that is a real occurrence, and it's something that needs to stop, but it also needs to be brought to everyone's attention, because no one deserves to be stalked, harassed, any of that. But especially people who are out there searching actively, they don't deserve to be haggled and razzed every day, because in reality, they're the ones that are doing the most for Sebastian. And let's just be honest, when you're making those comments and razzing those people that are actually out there searching, you're just making noise from the cheap seats. And you're not the one that's actually in the trenches doing the work. We can all do our part. So, with that being said, I do want to go over one more topic, which is a search that is happening on September 14th, 2024. The meetup is at 11:30 a.m. at the Boot Barn. I think there was an old Kmart for locals near there, but it's in the parking lot. It is a Lot Lizard event, and it's at 240 Long Hollow Pike. That's in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, 37072. And everyone is invited to attend. Terry Lynn is putting this event on, and she will be organizing the search and everything. Be sure to wear layers so that you can be weather appropriate. There are ticks and snakes and things like that. I've gone over it in other videos. I'm not here to tell you how to survive out there. That's not my forte. It's not even in my wheelhouse. I will just say that it is treacherous terrain, so good shoes. I mean, a backpack, maybe bring some waters, things like that. If you can't show up, which I'm not going to be able to make it unless I miraculously find like a carpool buddy, but we can all do our part, like I said. So my idea is print out 10 flyers, and you can do it in black and white. It'll cost you less, but the idea is to go out and spread some awareness. So spread some awareness in your own hometown. Print the flyers out and spread awareness. If you can place them on windows, if you can stand outside of Walmart and pass them out, whatever you feel like you can do, but at least 10, that's 10 more people that are going to know. That's 10 people that have become aware. And if you do this and you want to be a part of a slideshow, I'm going to put together a slideshow if I get photos of people posting flyers, or you can take pictures of you and a buddy if you're searching around your area. Whatever we can do. We don't know where Sebastian is. I will get some footage together and just kind of make a nice tribute for Sebastian. Let's show him how much we care. Let's show him how much love is out there, that the drama doesn't matter, and what really matters is finding him and coming together as a group to just do it for one day. Like I said, it starts at 11:30, so we could be doing it as Terry's out there searching, those of us who can't make it. And I think it would be a really beautiful way to show our support also to Terry, who's been out there searching, passing out flyers, doing the most. Sebastian is more than worth it. He is a 15-year-old boy who has been missing over 6 months now, and there is little information out there. We all need to ramp up right now. This is a great time where we have momentum in this case, where we can all push forward and do the best we can. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. All I know is that we can all come together and make a difference. So let's all come together and make a difference. That's all I have for you guys today. I love you all so very, very much. Stay safe out there, and remember the search September 14th, 2024. Let's all come together. For Sebastian, the way I see it, he's who really matters.
What is it for the second fucking time?
It's fucking raw, Chef.
That's right, it's fucking raw. Center. No. Yes, yes. Is that raw? It can still fly. Hey, lady. The raw and stone cold.
It's raw, every fucking bit.
Just to the naked eye, what is that?
Here.
Raw. Raw.
I get Ricky Dicky raw.